Lena Parker had been a waitress at Rosie's Diner for nearly 30 years. The tiny place sat on the outskirts of town, where regulars knew her by name. Life had been tough, especially after losing her husband, but she showed up every morning, rain or shine, wearing her warmest smile. One stormy night, near closing time, a young man walked in. His hoodie was pulled low, his hands shoved deep into his pockets. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Lena noticed the way he hesitated before sitting at the counter.
Coffee's on the house,
She said, pouring him a cup. His name was Ethan. He barely had enough for a meal but ordered the cheapest item on the menu. Lena, sensing something deeper, slipped an extra piece of pie onto his plate.
my treat.
She said with a wink. Ethan stared at the pie, his eyes glassy, his hands trembled as he picked up the fork.
Thank you.
He whispered. Lena didn't ask for his story, she didn't need to, but as he finished, his hands fumbled inside his hoodie, and he pulled out a small pistol. The diner fell silent. Lena's heart pounded as she instinctively took a step back.
I wasn't going to rob you, I didn't know how else to do this.
Lena understood in an instant. He wasn't here to hurt anyone. He was here to end his own life. Without thinking, she walked around the counter and stood in front of him.
Put it down, honey. Just talk to me.
Ethan's breathing was ragged. His fingers tightened on the trigger. Then, finally, he collapsed into sobs. The gun slipped from his hand, clattering to the floor. Lena knelt down, picking up the napkin he had scribbled on while eating. The words sent a chill through her. I was going to do it tonight, right here. But you reminded me that kindness still exists. Thank you for seeing me. Tears blurred Lena's vision as she looked at him.
You're not alone. I see you. And I'm not letting you go through this alone.
Months passed. Ethan checked himself into therapy. And then, one evening, a sleek car pulled up outside Rosie's Diner. Ethan stepped out. He was no longer the broken young man from that night. His eyes were brighter, his shoulders stronger. He walked inside carrying a small box. Lena gasped when she opened it. Inside was a key.
I bought this place for you. No more worrying about rent, no more struggling. It's yours.
Why?
Because you saved my life and now I want to save yours.
That night, Rosie's Diner became Lena's Diner, and every person who walked in, especially those struggling, always left with an extra slice of pie on the house. Because sometimes the smallest kindness can change everything.